Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the New Nasty Boys. I'm your co-host this morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you decide to listen to this thing, Billy, and sitting next to me is...
Chris Weir.
Oh, you went full name, eh?
Yeah, I did. I want people to know exactly who it is, screwing up names.
It's me all the time. I'm a real namesmith over here. Thanks for tuning in and watching on this beautiful Tuesday morning. We're recording Monday before the game, which we're very excited about. We're beyond excited. By the time that we're done here, the game will have started and we'll get to see what good old Matt McLain does.
Yeah, brought him up, baby.
Yay!
Congrats, Matt McLain! Confetti!
You did it, buddy. We're so proud of you. We really mentored you and taught you the ways. We actually leveled out his swing. That was us.
I know. That was a whole other thing that we don't have time to get into. But he owes us.
He owes us big time. Okay, we took him out to the backyard. We took him to the kid cage.
Yeah.
We had him hitting in the nets, actually hitting into the projector screen and going, buddy.
Yeah.
Level it out. You'll get more power, more launch angle. That wasn't a good movement, but that's another point. So, yeah.
Yeah, all of our hard work paid off.
It really did.
Glad it came to fruition. But that's the big news.
That's the big news. It's great to see. How was your week?
It was pretty good. It was Mother's Day weekend, so it was full. Had stuff on both sides of the family. Went to part of that. It first started at my nephew's soccer game. He's 7 years old playing soccer and went outdoors. It was extremely hot and I bailed. Like I couldn't go to we were supposed to go to dinner afterwards, like outdoors. It was too hot. I couldn't fulfill my obligations there. But that's how it started off. And then so just like a whole bunch of stuff. Really sweaty over the weekend, very humid, had some comedy.
Yeah, a lot of chafing.
A lot of sweat, a lot of apologizing, a lot of I'm sorry I'd hug you, but I'm gross right now.
Well, you probably shouldn't be wearing long sleeves.
Yeah, that was the problem. I wore jeans too. I didn't think it'd be because the temperature's just breaking around here in a weird way.
Yeah.
Because a few days ago it was pretty chilly and now it's just like you're kissing with the devil.
Well, we had, what was that Tuesday was perfect at the ballpark. Wednesday was perfect at the ballpark. Mm-hmm. Then we get to this weekend. I was like, oh, it's a swamp now.
Yeah.
We live in a swamp-like environment.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's fucking dead and humid.
It's disgusting. And also, I think that's a great way to get out of anything. I'm just sweaty.
Yeah, I was like, I can't do it. I can't eat food right now. I said, I'll get sick. I said, I just cannot eat food outside.
Yeah.
And everyone understood because I was visibly uncomfortable. I was just hot, sweaty. I mean, I just had to fast walk back to the car, turn on the AC, says I'm out.
Just sit. I'm out.
But got to go bananas. Watched some of our buddies up there.
Nice.
Dwight Simmons was headlining. Cam O'Connor, Willie Bostic. They were split featuring. And I went up there and I got to do a surprise host set. I was not anticipating that, but walked in there, had a good old time with the boys, hanging out. It was a really fun night.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I wish I could have gone, but I had a very, very busy weekend. Mm-hmm. Friday, what did I went and saw my niece, Edie, and my grandma, Edie.
Oh boy.
Both in town, E&E, very cute. Mm-hmm. And I got there and I walk in and my sister says, hey, can you do me a favor? And I was like, what? She was like, can you feed the raccoon?
I'm going to have to ask you some questions.
I was like, what do you mean feed the raccoon? She said, yeah, Dad found a raccoon at the base of their oak tree. Yeah. And there's no mom, left it out, tried to see if the mom would come back, didn't come back. So then my dad was like, well, I guess we now have a pet raccoon.
Yeah, those are the rules to owning a raccoon.
It's true.
If the maternal figure does not come back after a full moon, then the rodent is legally yours.
That's true. Yeah, the vermin now has a home. What did you say, vermin permit?
Yeah, no, it was vermin permit. Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah, because it's like, is it legal to own a raccoon in Ohio? I don't know.
There's probably some stipulations.
A few, but at least he kept it and tried to nurse it back to health. And anytime my dad would pick up this raccoon, it would make the same sounds like it was around its mother. Like,
it's like, I'm a boy, stop it.
I'm a like, okay, well,
how big was it?
It was about that big.
Oh my god, a little tiny baby.
It was so cute.
Yeah.
Alicia picked it up, and it was just like nestled into her chest.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so cute. And then I picked it up and held it, and then my mom was like, I don't want this raccoon in my house. And I was like, I get it. Because, like, I think it's like my dad is paying reparations to trying to nurse this one back to health. Because my dad and I have probably murdered close to 25 raccoons.
You lynched that many raccoons
I did.
that he feels he has to pay back reparations?
Yeah, I have to. Because they would, like, we lived in an old Victorian house, and they would sneak in through the holes.
Keeps, all adding together. Victorian house, lynching raccoons.
It's just, we live in a southern plantation. And they would get in and then, like, scurry up through the walls, eat all of our insulation.
Oh, wow.
And my dad would just, my dad and I would lay it on the trampoline and shoot them as they come out of the house. Take pictures of the front yard the next morning, like, we got him!
What type of gun were you using? Was it like a pellet gun? Or was it like a
pellet gun? My dad has an excellent shot. So, he would lay out on the trampoline, and I'd be in a ghillie suit with my binoculars.
Oh, I'm sure that was super fun.
It was great. And then they would just pop their head out, and it was poof, and then just fall out of the tree. And he'd just be like, I got him. By the time he was done, he was pulling their teeth and put them on a necklace.
Oh, my God.
No, it wasn't like Vietnam. But, dude, I swear, I think that there was one point, dude, it got so bad a raccoon died in our walls. My dad cut open a hole, and he went in to get it, and he came back out with the raccoon in a garbage bag along with an Izzy's potato pancake that he had ate and emptied into said garbage bag.
Oh, man, I was going to say that he found that in the wall.
We're Jewish.
Still good.
Still good. Honey, get me some tartar. It's going to be great.
It's the miracle of the Pink Panther.
That's right. Oh, dart just fell out of the wall.
Yeah, it still counts.
Still counts. Hey, it's been 10 minutes. It's still in there. So I think he's just putting he's good karma back in. I killed so many, brought it back up, and then gave it to somebody who has a raccoon farm up there. Hey,
a raccoon farm? Oh my God, these are lives we could be living. I didn't know this was an option.
Look, we know it's always an option, but instead we chose to fix Matt McLain's swing.
True. It's a labor of love, but someone had to do it.
Yeah, we did, and we nailed it. So we'll start with what I'm wearing. What do you think of the City Connect?
I'm going to be a bit controversial. I like it, but I was wanting some throwback reinvention. I wanted to see something that was kind of harken back to an older area that was a reimagined design. This looks good. I like it. Black is very difficult to make look correct, and I think the uniform, from what I've seen so far, does look good. I like it, but I was still wanting something different.
I get
still
it.
Still good. I like it. Okay. I kind of want to see another what else they had in the pipeline that could have made it.
Sure. So Trent wrote a great article about everything, what they were working on, and the big thing was that they wanted to look towards the future. So think about in 2019, remember when they released all of those different uniforms, starting back with the OG up until when they did the redesign.
Yeah.
So they already did that. Mm-hmm. So I think that them doing that, knowing the success of it, they were and as much as the team has talked about the past, they're wow, big red machine, a 1990 World Series, hell yeah. They're we got to give the fans something to look forward to.
I really like that. I think that's great. But I still want my one. That reminds me of the other guys. It's a really great jersey. It's nice. I just like some other things as well. But That's a super thing. I'll probably buy a T-shirt of it.
You should. Yeah. I think you should. There's a place where you could get that. In theclutch.com. We have just dropped our player tee, black MLBPA designs that are similar to this. Check it out. Nasty Boys, 10% off. Do it up. But man, so when they talk about the future and all that stuff, is when it was really encouraging to see that they finally, and they never had a black jersey. They had batting practice jerseys. So this is the first time they've done black. And ever since I was a kid, I've always wanted just a full black Reds jersey. And 9-year-old Billy's like, dude, 32-year-old Billy's tight.
It looks good on you, buddy.
Well, black is slimming. So this jersey, I've lost 7 to 10 pounds.
Yeah, we look pretty similar together. I got black on too.
Yeah, we look good. And then what's really cool with the hat, the piping.
Oh, it goes in the inside too.
Oh yeah, it goes around, baby. It's all up in there. So the piping on the hat harkens back to the 1909 hat that was blue and white pinstripes with the red piping here. Yeah. So there's a little bit of a nod to the past in there.
Yeah, no, it's really good. So well thought out. I like the concept behind it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Not going to be fun wearing this in the middle of July at a day game.
Yeah, a bit brutal.
But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So let's dig in. So we got so much to talk about here. Dig into the week that was. Dude, took 2 out of 3 from the Mets. Took 2 out of 3 from the Fish. Pretty great week to go, 2 at home, 2 on the road. And knowing that you're going back out on the road tonight, the 3 spot against Colorado. Did you come back home and face the vaunted Yankees?
Yeah, they put up a nice couple series there, and so they're in a good spot here for Colorado.
Yeah,
I like it.
Really good. The big thing that was encouraging from that first game is Luke Weaver, dude. And Luke Weaver all week. I mean, you go out there, he's your 4 starter, 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 walk, 2 Ks, enough to keep you in the game, a game that the Reds win and beat the dick off of their bullpen and Daniel Peterson, which was supposed to be Max Scherzer, but he went out with neck stiffness. And what do we know about neck stiffness?
It's around this area.
Okay. Did you ever see that episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm?
No.
Where Larry David says there's only 2 ways someone has a stiff neck. 1, a car accident. 2, from performing cunnilingus.
Okay, I thought it had something to do with the latter.
Yeah. And so in that episode, I forget who it is, a baseball player goes out with neck stiffness and he turns and looks back and goes, oh, yeah? Okay. So, yeah, Scherzer out with I guess he was in a car accident before he got to the ballpark.
Yeah, exactly. While he was eating out someone's pussy. 4 stars for that Uber driver.
The classic whiplash and the gash.
Yeah.
So, but man, they started hot and then kind of lost it towards the 8th, and then they kept them in check just enough where Alexis Diaz came out and had a 4-out save.
Yeah, that was impressive. And this was the one where he brought out David Price. This is what we're talking about? Or am I'm thinking about the wrong one.
We brought out who?
When he had David Price. Oh, fuck. Oh, my. Dude, I'm a couple years off and a few games ahead.
When he brought out
David Bell
brought him out. Yeah, dude. I was sitting there in the stands and I was like, are we really going to start doing this? Really stretch him out? They did, and I was horrified. I was like, damn it, he's only for the 9th inning. He's still a kid. Let him figure it out. But 1 1/3, no hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, 3 Ks, and that ump zone was trash.
Yeah, he was not being. It also too, like with Weaver, it wasn't going both ways. So it was. I like that with Weaver too. He's fucking. He's coming out with some intensity, and he kept his mentality there, even though he's getting squoze at the plate. Pretty good.
Oh yeah, I mean, did you look at the scorecard? I mean, it was just all over the place. Where, I mean, a lot of balls for the Mets were called outside, but then on the inside, you could see up. What was it? Up and away. And low and inside, he just was not giving it to either Reds pitcher.
Yeah, bad, but really good, response by Reds pitching.
Yeah, it was huge. It was awesome. But in that one, you had and what was most impressive about that 6-7 win? No home runs.
Yeah, just stringing together some singles, baby.
Just the old George Grand way of baseball.
Get him on, get him over, get him in.
That's right, baby. George Graham was just sitting there, just hard as a rock, like,
oh yeah, someone blocked for the love of God. Lay it down.
And then you followed up with the next night you faced Verlander, who was Verlander. You got to him in the first, but he had 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 walks, 7 Ks. And I was like, man, this is impressive to watch live.
Yeah, I was going to say, you were there.
I was there for both of them.
What a matchup. Verlander versus Green, old versus young.
Oof. And the old vet got his way.
Yeah, it was really – I watched it from back home, but he just looked like he just kept getting better and better and better, and he just couldn't pick up those pitches. It seems really difficult to Justin Verlander.
Really? Who would have thought? Hall of Famer Justin Verlander with a sub-2 ERA last year. Hard to hit.
Yeah, but dude, still, Green threw well.
Yes.
A couple hiccups, but nothing that wasn't recoverable.
No, but you didn't get the length you wanted out of him. Mm-hmm. He had 102 pitches, 62 of them for strikes. Went 5 1/3, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 walks, 4 Ks. Gave up a dinger that was a moonshot to Polar Bear Pete.
Yeah, I think he was just leaving some sliders up, and then doesn't he have like the most like home runs in the NL?
Yeah.
So if you're gonna give a home run up to anybody, I mean, if it's gonna be the home run leader, you
might as well.
Yeah, but other than that, he looked pretty good.
Yeah, I agree with you. I didn't get to really dig into his pitch mix because I'm just so excited about everything else. But overall, man, I mean, like. We took 2 out of 3 from the highest payroll in baseball ever.
That's great.
I mean, fuck them. That's awesome.
Yeah, we'll take it. 2 out of 3. Love it.
It's beautiful. And then what was most impressive was then that next game where they won 5-0 during the day, and they had a full bullpen day with Derek Law showing up, litigating, and taking care of 1 1/3. Then Ben Lively, who was drafted by the Reds, gets traded from Marlon Byrd to the Phillies, goes over to Korea, comes back here.
That old tale.
The old tale of Korean back,
Yeah.
The old boomerang.
Yeah, crossing over the Da Nang.
What is it, the 47th parallel?
You know it.
Oh, baby, I do. I know my South Korea, North Korea geography. 3 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 K. It didn't matter because he got a shit ton of ground balls. I mean, he had, come here, you. Yeah, he had 4 ground balls and a fly out, 3 innings pitched. I mean, he was pitching to contact, and if some squeaked through, that was fine. But a lot of zeros going up and down that box score. And Jimmy Herget coming up from AAA and getting a 3-inning save.
Dude, that's got to feel good. Hopefully they had a nice celebration after that as a unit, as a bullpen, something, because, I mean, that's impressive. They have one of the best bullpens in the NL. They have such a great group of guys. Yeah,
that they just hodgepodge together and be like, all right, let's make this thing work. And they did. And moving guys up and down 71, 75 to figure out, who's available, who's got a live arm. Mm-hmm. And they got to Senga early. Steer with a homer, right? Yes. Yeah. Steer with a homer, Indy with a double. Like, they just got on him in the first inning, put up that 4 spot, and then just cruised. Which, great, man. It was pretty freaking rad. Then we went down to Miami, won 7-4. Ashcraft wasn't great, but he was good enough. 5 2/3, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 3 Ks, gave up 2 dingers. But it didn't matter because the boys put runs on the board against their bullpen, and especially with Nick Senzel hitting a double, Tyler Stevenson with a homer, and Rake Fraley with 2 home runs.
Getting back after it, baby.
Dude, when he's hot, he is scorching hot.
Yeah, it seems like he's really feeling it right now. Like, when you see him with the plate, getting up there and just getting good separation with his hands and just turning it on a ball. Oh, it's nice.
It's real nice. It's purdy. And doesn't he just more and more, like, he is still dead on. I'm like, that's fucking Jay Bruce.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, just the way in which how streaky they get.
Yeah. It seems like, we've talked about this before. Like, it had like this big pop, and all of a sudden this drops off, and all of a sudden, bam, it has like 8 RBIs in a series.
Yeah, 8 RBIs, 3 homers, which he did this day. I mean, it's awesome. Like, hey, man, ride it while it's hot, and rotate in and out with guys who are hot, and more importantly, and we'll get to this later, who are available. Mm-hmm. Which, kind of a bummer to see what happened, but, Ride the rake.
Yeah, baby.
Take it while you can. And again, the bullpen came in and shut it down with Alex Young bouncing back, Jabot, and Alexis Diaz came out there, and I think he had to throw a ton of pitches. No, that was the next night. Yeah, he was solid, closed the door. Then the next night, you got your Red Legs winning 6-5, putting up a 3-spot in the 8th inning on another bullpen day.
Yeah. They are really finding ways to kind of like piecemeal together, like you were talking about, and figuring out ways to squeak runs across the board, whether it be early, late, or just sporadically throughout the entire game. They've won it in a lot of different ways, but it seemingly comes from just a lot of people chipping in.
Yeah, when I was looking, I was watching the broadcast, and they brought something up that I forgot to put in our script. When the Reds, most wins when trailing in the 7th or later, the Reds have 7 wins.
Oh, man.
Isn't
That's
that nuts?
all MLB?
Yeah, all of baseball.
That's nice. That's great.
Shows they got a lot of character, bouncing back, baby, pushing through. No quitting, our boys.
Yeah, never say die.
That's right. Never say die. And ride the rake.
Not the Viking attitude, baby.
But it was great. Derek Law started out again, and Levi Stout got a chance to pitch in the professionals without going up against the hottest offense in all of baseball. He went up against the Marlins, which he's like, oh my God, I get a break?
Yeah, this is nice. Nice for a change.
Yeah, I don't have to pitch to someone and be like, oh, I'm going to put up 14 runs in an inning.
About to be on a highlight reel. Cool.
Thank you. But 3 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 3 Ks, serviceable enough to go out to Miami, have a nice trip, eat some fresh fish, maybe get a Cuban sandwich, and then go back to Louisville. Because that's what happened. But Buck Farmer won in a third, gave up a run, and then Sims held it down. Jabot blew it a little bit. He had an inning and then gave up 2 runs. But then Ligma Nuts was back, baby. And the problem with that was he got drilled in the calf, and now he's on the IL. Calf, ankle, but he's going to be down for a hot second. And Alexis Diaz came out and had a 1 2/3 inning save.
Yeah, put him to another position where it's just testing him out, see how you handle it. And man, did he just not? I mean, he just pulled through.
Yeah,
it was great.
40 pitches. Yeah, so he was at 40 pitches. I mean, which is impressive to know that he's reached that mark and can extend, but you don't want to do it all the time.
Yeah, you don't want to get in the habit of that. You want him to just be comfortable knowing he's just got to get those 3 outs. Have him be the closer, and hopefully, we're going to get more of these situations figured out. The Reds are beat up. We'll get some more people in there, and so we don't have to worry about or come across a situation where it's even an option you would entertain.
Yeah, no kidding. Because then you know how David Bell likes to stretch that stuff out. And that's when you start getting into a little bit of trouble. I don't like it. So, but then you followed up, and you also put a 6th spot on who was the best pitcher in baseball last year. Clearly not the same guy, but it's nice to hang your hat on that you put 6 runs up against the Cy Young winner of last year.
Yeah, it's good. And the Reds, just going out there, just playing ball like they are against all these other clubs. It's great.
Yeah, they're playing ball, baby.
They're playing ball. They're showing up,
They're doing it. They're showing up, and you know what they're doing? They're getting dubs.
They're taking the field.
They're taking the field, and they're not quitting. Then they lost 1-3 on Sunday. Disappointing that the offense didn't show up at all for Luke Weaver, because he had 6 innings pitched and gave up 1 run and had like 6 Ks. For some reason, that screenshot didn't save. But anyway, it's good to see Luke Weaver is turning into Luke Weaver of old, and just hopefully his health can stick with him. And the 2 guys that came up from AAA too to come and fill in the gaps for all the bullpen days we had, just shit the bed. They didn't completely shit the bed. They gave up 2 runs, which, hey man, welcome to the bigs. Give up 2 runs and then get back in your car and go back down 71-75 back to Louisville. But crazy that just very little offense showed up that game.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, Weaver was looking great, showing a nice attitude, pitching very well. So hopefully next time he's out there, that'll be more incentive for the offense to show up.
Yeah. Who's hot, baby? Last week, Rake Fraley. 438, 500, with a slugging of 1.063, with an OPS of 1.563.
My man is scorching.
On fire! You'll love to see it. But think about that week. 3 homers, 10 ribs, 2 walks, 4 Ks. Got a stolen base in there, too.
Yeah, he donned the Viking helmet a number of times there. God dang it, he looks good.
It looks so good.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he doesn't flip that thing over and drink mead out of it.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Or just like blood, just pure blood. It's like, what is he doing? No one else is doing that.
No one else. He's like, this is the blood of my enemy. Oh, man. And, but dude, so sick, combined with Spencer Steer. His batting average is not there. Okay, I get it. $150. But the on-base percentage, 436, with a slugging of 400 with an OPS of 746. He's got, a homer and 3 ribs. Not scorching hot, maybe a little smoldering, but someone has to bring power to this lineup.
Yeah, and he's been the guy to do it sometimes.
And Nick Senzel. He's got, in 19 plate appearances, he's got 6 hits, 3 doubles, 2 ribs, a walk, to 6 strikeouts, 316, 350, 474, OPS of 824. Let's fucking go!
Yeah, really stepping up. Love seeing that.
But our hottest boy, Alexis Diaz, on the year, he has a FIP of 1.03 and a homers over 9 innings at a flat 0. With 17.4 Ks per 9.
Just crushing.
Disgusting.
Just putting together an awesome resume. Every time it comes out, you get super excited. This is awesome.
It's so great. God, you love to see it.
Yeah, and just, not to get ahead of ourselves here, but what he's doing, that performance combined with some of the other performances that we have been seeing and are going to see in this ball club, it really tickles me.
It tickles me in all the right spots.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's just wonderful. Who is not hot? Will Myers, 133, 200 with an OPS of 333. Do you know what the MLB average is for OPS?
No.
650. Gross.
Yeah, I just think he's still not comfortable at the plate. He's done some things to adjust, but we were talking before about how close he's getting or how far away he is in the box. It seems like he's not really finding, it's been a lack of consistency with him.
Yeah.
But, hopefully he'll find it. He's one of the veteran guys on the team, so.
He might just end up being that guy who's a leader and just sits there, and hopefully you can just dump him at the deadline. But at this rate, no one's going to want him at the deadline.
True.
Ugh. Like, Tommy Pham, that was an easy dump. He came back around, he got hot, and moved him at the right time.
Yeah, he had value.
There's no value here.
Yeah.
How much more of a leash do you give this guy?
I don't know. I feel like if another team picked him up, they'd be doing us a favor from their standpoint. But I don't think there's too much more of a leash, especially with what's coming up in the pipeline. Some moves need to be made. I don't know. Guy seems like he's a nice dude, but it's not working out for him.
He just seems so nice out there.
I just really want it to work for him. I like the way he wears his sunglasses. He doesn't wear batting gloves. I really appreciate those things.
I think him not wearing batting gloves bought him another month.
Yeah, probably. In my mind.
In my mind. Yeah, I bought him another month to still be here and for us not to just cut bait, but looking up and down the rest of the organization, who do you put in right field every day?
I don't know. We can put, TJ Friel was on the, how long is he on the DL now?
10 day.
10? Okay. Well, I can see him being out in, left field.
I can see it. Mm-hmm. I could see someone else being out in left field, which we can get to that in a second. The other person who's not hot is Jose Barrero. In 3 games, it's such a small sample size because he's been riding the pine a little bit. He's got 10 ABs, and half of them he struck out.
Yeah, he's not feeling it. I think there's some other stuff. It's I think it's in between the ears mostly for him. which is probably has a lot to do with all the other stuff that's happening beneath him. But yeah, it's not looking good for him.
No, it's not. And especially those gaffes. Like again in the Verlander game, I think he had 2 errors.
Yeah, just not really paying attention, not focused. There was definitely some gaffes there, some drop balls, bad plays. Yeah.
But you know what? The good news is we won't have to worry about him at shortstop anymore.
Why's that?
Matt McLain! Our hitting protege.
Mm-hmm.
He, you look at his, we've talked about this before with his AAA numbers. 348, 474, slugging 710, an OPS of 1.184 in 138 plate appearances. 29 walks, 34 strikeouts. Guy's selective, knows what he's doing. Holy shit, Cal Raleigh just hit another home run.
Oh, man.
Dumper, let's fucking go! There's the trident. You'll love to see it.
Dumping them
In the harbor.
I just put it over the other side of the fence here.
So here's the thing. You move him up, you call him up, you put him at short, you leave him there for however long it is until some other folks are ready. What a great time to bring him up.
Yeah, he's needed, and there's no reason to not bring him up.
Yeah, there's no service time manipulation here. There's none of that, and combined with they're going to be in Colorado.
Yeah, and how many more banner days does he need to have, like, in a row in AAA? Because he's doing everything right, so it makes sense. And yeah, this is a great time in the Red season for him to come up. So this will be really fun. Looking forward to the game here, just right now, I think.
Yeah, which is happening at the moment. Like it's anytime you can get an injection of offense from a young bat, fucking especially when this team needs it. When you can ride one hot bat for a couple series, but you can't ride it for a season.
Yeah, and just having that, it's a big, marathon of a season. Having those sparks that come in periodically throughout the season, that can boost guys up. And this is a very, energy-driven team. It's a young group of guys. They're feeding off each other, searching for, they all play with like a chip on their shoulder. And I think this will, add to that intensity.
Agreed. And so a lot of people are saying that Matt McLain is more of a second baseman than a shortstop.
They have him leading off right now.
Oh, here we go. He's at a 2-1 count. Did India get on first? That's what it sure looks like because he was second in the lineup.
Oh, shoot. Yeah,
Singles.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
We cleared a leg. In play, foul. Dang.
Oh, wow.
So, anywho, so you move him to second. Jonathan India would have to move to third base, but Senzel's at third base.
Mm-hmm.
And he's playing really well there. Mm-hmm. Offensively, he looks comfortable, and he's pretty dang good over there.
Yeah, he's been making some nice plays. Where do you think India should go?
Left.
Left? Okay.
Here's the conversation, though, that's very awkward. India will get paid more in free agency and extended more. He would get paid more in free agency when he gets there as a second baseman than as an outfielder.
Okay.
As a Scott Boras client, he likes to see his players go to free agency.
Okay.
So which means you're not going to extend him to pay him to keep him there.
Okay.
I think my hot take is forming from the beginning of the year. I think he might get moved.
Are you saying to another team?
Traded.
Okay. Yeah, I remember talking to you about that. Anything is possible, and Jonathan India would, could potentially fetch, quite a pretty penny. I love his attitude and the way he plays. So I'd love to see him as a Red, but, we'll see what happens here when things start to shake out because we got a lot of guys, all competing for similar positions. And, keep in mind, all these players that are coming up, it's ultimately their bats we're really wanting to have, in the lineup. But they also got to have a place, in the field from the play as well.
Yeah,
so,
and that fixes your offensive outfield problem that you have with power or with productivity. Because you're not getting it from Will Myers, and you're not getting. I mean, TJ Friel's hurt, but when he comes back, he's in center, and you have Rake in left. You can move Rake to right, and have India in left and McLain at second, and then back when your shortstop position opens up again, you can put Elly there when he's ready.
Yeah.
It solves a lot of problems.
It does, and these aren't the worst problems for a club to have. Just trying to figure, these are just growing pains, and got a lot of great guys who need to make room for. So there might be some moves that might be a bit startling. Hopefully nothing too traumatic here, but I think things are lining up in a very nice fashion here for the Reds.
Agreed. But you just don't. So we'll see what McLain does at short. We'll see how he does defensively and offensively. Hopefully he can maintain something close to this pace so you can leave him and stick him there. But defensively, if he's ineffective and you're like, man, I got to move him to second, you need to have that conversation organizationally with Jonathan India.
Right.
And hopefully Scott Boras will be like, yeah, sign him up for a long-term deal, pay him so he stays here for a while. And then you have that flexibility with him and turn him into kind of a more of a utility guy that he can be.
Yeah, and so far, I mean, he seems to be like the de facto leader of the squad as of now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that seems to be a very important thing to talk about. And so hopefully they're very, very transparent with them, with anything that happens.
Yeah. He's your your BDE, your big dick energy.
Exactly. I mean, at least while Joey Votto's out.
Yeah. Well, this is the last year of his contract, too. So you know that he's out the door at the end of this year. I mean, they haven't, the Reds haven't publicly stated it, but come on. They're not going to pay a guy $25 million to do what he's doing again this year.
No, and we still don't quite exactly know what's going on with rehab with him. So, yeah, a lot to be determined.
Which is supposedly at this point, he said that he's feeling better. He's going to start rehabbing again soon. And the Reds put him on the 60-day IL, and he could come back in late May, which then could line up, you know, if that lines back up with his rehab schedule. So if you're wondering, hey, what's good? What about C.E.S and Elly? C.E.S needs more time in AAA. He's got 23 Ks to 2 walks. He's only got 89 plate appearances, and he can only play first base.
Yeah, so still needs the time to develop, seeing a lot of good stuff. But, yeah, just be a little too soon to move him.
Yeah. Small sample theater here, but you've got to build up a bigger sample to be able to bring him up. I wouldn't be shocked if he was up here by, like, August, but at the same time, you need to let him mature a little bit more. But Elly, on the other hand, he has been working on that walks to strikeout issue. Mm-hmm. It is getting better. But how can you keep this guy down there with after having, a freak fucking day?
Yeah. He had how many, hard hits did he have? 3 of the hardest hits in StatCast history. Yeah,
he had the hardest hit ball in this year according to StatCast of the 118.8.
Yeah, he's just continually doing things that haven't been done yet.
It's just fucking nuts. And that was from one side of the plate, and on the other side of the plate he hit one over 117 miles an hour.
Yeah, and he had one that he thought was going to be a pop out that ended up going over the wall. It's like that's his natural energy where he feels like, oh man, I missed it, and he still crushed it for a home run. Yeah, unbelievable. And a switch hitter too. You just keep forgetting these things. He's super fast. Yeah, extremely impressive. I can't wait to see him up, playing alongside Matt McLain.
Yeah, I mean, he would have the fastest thrown ball in he has the fastest thrown ball in professional baseball with 90.2 miles per hour.
Yeah.
And the third fastest home to third speed with 11.2 seconds. I mean, you can look at this and you're like, but you have to go okay, this is exciting and stuff, but then you're like, oh, yeah, there's a few other things he still needs to work on in his game and get a little bit more time in AAA considering he's got 90 plate appearances in AAA.
Yeah.
Or 103. I'm sorry, 103 plate appearances.
Yeah. Still, it's not a lot. Give him a little bit more time. It's super. Yeah. Let him do some amazing stuff down, in AAA, and then he's going to do even better stuff once he comes back. Comes up to Great American Ballpark.
Yeah, and maybe you can have him take some balls in center field.
Yeah. See what he does. He's extremely fast. Great arm.
Yeah.
A lot of options.
There's a ton of options. Good options to have. Looking at our injured list, Nick Lodolo moved to the IL with left calf tendinosis. Steve Mancuso from Reds Content Plus really explained it pretty well, so look that up there. But in the short, tendinosis is different from tendinitis. Tendinitis is when the muscle inflames, and tendinosis is when the muscle has degeneration and starts losing collagen and could snap a lot easier, which would be a bigger problem.
Doesn't sound good. When you got to look at like medical pictures of tendons and stuff, it's not a great thing.
No, turns me on.
Yeah. Oh, what's that all read about?
Girl, what's on your insides?
I'll twist that around the bone. Yeah, such a bummer. Lodolo is doing so well, and having some obvious discomfort there, and we'll see what happens with this. I have no idea about this type of injury.
But then here's the thing that lines up. Remember we were talking about, I was like, I think there's something wrong with Lodolo. I think there's something wrong. Boy, howdy.
You're right.
There was something wrong there. They'll reevaluate him in 4 weeks. Shit.
Yeah. Bummer.
Real big bummer. Brandon Williamson is going to come back up. I wonder if it happened. Let's see if Matt McLain got his first hit here. Here we go. Quick break here, but Brandon Williamson's coming up. He's the guy that we got in the Winker Eugenio Suarez trade, which it's nice that he's up, but he still has a 6+ ERA in AAA, and his control issues are still a problem. And that he's either walking dudes or he's laying up fatties. The Reds are up 1-0. And dude, you know who did it? India singled, McLain popped out, Fraley hit a line drive, India to third, and then Spencer Steer brought in India on a single.
How about that?
But then Jake Fraley out at third on a throw from Chris Bryant. So we had another running gaff, which is something that Jake Fraley does.
Yeah, it gets a little too aggressive there. But you love, 3 guys working together, getting a run.
Love it. 3 guys together, just getting a run.
Getting after it.
Get in it, boy.
Pushing one across the plate.
So I have a theory about why Brandon Williamson is up this week compared to, or instead of Andrew Abbott.
Yeah, why's that?
Coors Field.
What?
They give him it's like a hard place to pitch.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So you let him kind of, maybe fall on his sword and see what happens.
Yeah, that'll be a tough place to prove your worth as a pitcher. We'll see what happens here.
But talk about being thrown in the fire where it's just like, hey, you were a college pitcher. Figure it out.
This is going to be a day you'll remember forever.
Forever and ever.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens with him, how much length he can give you. But I think overall, he has a plus fastball. He has a good curveball. If he never figures out this control, I just see him as a lefty out of the pen. And this is it's not like do or die. Mm-hmm. But he's going to have a couple starts where it's like, hey, bud, let's see if you can be a starter.
Yeah. There's going to be some opportunities.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Especially with Lodolo out now. There's going to be plenty of shoes to fill.
Yeah, a lot of left shoes to fill.
A
lot of left shoes. I mean, 4 weeks, a month at best.
Yeah, that is so unfortunate.
And also, at home, Andrew Abbott had 5 innings in his last start. 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, 5 earned runs, 5 strikeouts. He gave up 2 long balls, which such a bummer. But he might have been working on something we don't know. Mm-hmm. And Friel moved to the IL 10-day oblique strain, but he'll be back sooner than later. We talked about Votto. And then Nick Kirby from Chatterbox Sports, a sweet, sweet man, gave us the projected starters list. So you got Hunter Green tonight, Williamson tomorrow, Ashcraft off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Luke Weaver, Hunter Green, Brandon Williamson. I feel bad for Brandon Williamson having to pitch and make his, big league debut in Colorado up at, a mile high, and then come back home and have to face the vaunted Yankees.
Yeah, definitely trial by fire here, but hopefully it'll make him a better pitcher. Either that, or it'll just mantle him mentally.
Yeah, sink or swim, bud.
Yeah.
The schedule that is coming up, you've got 3 at Colorado, then you got the Yankees series this weekend, then we'll be back talking on Monday about the Cardinals and the Cubs.
Oh, sounds like fun.
Sounds like a good time. I think they take 2 out of 3 in Colorado, but if they sweep, boy howdy, would that be awesome.
It would be amazing. Yeah, I'm saying 2 out of 3 as well. That sweep would be killer.
And then the Yankees, I think they take, they have Clark Schmidt, Yoni Brito, and Domingo Germain. Mm-hmm. I think they take 2 out of 3 at home against the Yankees, against what is potentially going to be sellout crowds.
Yeah, I'm hoping for the same. That would be pretty cool. We got 2 big series here where the Reds can really gain some ground.
Yeah. They're only 2 games out of the wild card. I know it's only May 15th, but that's exciting.
Yeah, it's really exciting. And then that Cardinals series, that's an opportunity there.
Oh, fuck the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Let's round third and head for home. What do you got coming up, bud?
I got a handful of shows, mostly some local funnies coming up. May 25th, Speakeasy Comedy Showcase at Oddfellows. That's on Elm Street in Cincy. May 24th, Louisville at the Laughing Derby. The 27th, I got 2 shows at the Comet in Northside in Cincinnati. May 31st at Go Bananas. Then June 1st through 3rd, Limestone.
Yay!
Yay!
Limestone. Tonight, you can see me at Symposium. I think that show starts at 8:30. Mm-hmm. Come to that. And then this weekend, I will be living at Great American Ballpark. So if you find me, you know the deal. I'll buy you a beer. Mm-hmm. And Saturday's a double dip, baby. Yankees, Reds. And then I got to bolt on over to TQL Stadium for Hell Is Real.
Oh, nice. That'll be super fun.
Yeah, that's a big day.
Yeah.
A long, awesome sports day.
It's going to be a fun one.
It's going to be the best. So, thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you for tuning in, listening. Some issues, but
hey, that happens. So thank you for listening. Thanks for checking us out. Thanks to Sports Drink for having a coffee shop. Thank you to In the Clutch, promo code Nasty Boys, 10% off. And thank you for joining.
Yeah, and thank you to all of our mothers. How about that?
My mama. Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Papa.
Thank you, everybody.
As always, go Red Legs.
Go Red Legs.